now, and it's South Florida right now, and it's 41 degrees. When it gets this cold, the iguanas can't hold on. They literally rain out of the trees. Here's one on the sidewalk. Looks frozen solid, but it's just chilled and waiting for the sun. Their bodies go stiff in South Florida right now, and it's
What's up, y'all? It's just Rhonda. Welcome to my channel. You know, I don't really always want to start with the weather, but I figured when I saw that, good morning, T. When I saw that, I wanted y'all to understand how ill prepared we are for this here. And we need your sympathy for all you people that live up north and are very much used to this. Y'all like the video, subscribe to the channel. Down in South Florida, the iguanas are literally falling out the trees. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Yes, they passing out. Let's see that again. Let's see that again.
and it's 41 degrees. When it gets this cold, the iguanas can't hold on. They literally rain out of the trees. Here's one on the sidewalk. Looks frozen solid, but it's just chilled and waiting for the sun. Their bodies go stiff in South Florida.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine walking down the street? We don't have iguanas here. We got a lot of chameleons, little bitty lizards. They don't be falling out of the trees, but they're probably somewhere in the bushes frozen. Now, I know the iguanas, I saw another video. The people was thawing them out with a blow dryer so they can. Now, mind you, these things like bite. They're very nasty. So I don't know. And they're very fast. They're very fast. And the size of a house cat. So if you can imagine walking down the street and there's lizards the size of a house cat just falling out the trees, chow. Pray for us down here in the Sunshine State. It's supposed to get up to 60 today. You know, that's somewhat acceptable. We've been running our heat. The people over at the electric company said, y'all be careful. We might not have enough heat. I know as high as my electric bill is, they better find some heat for us to survive in this cold winter. Yeah, where we at? February. I heard that, you know, the groundhog saw its shadow. So for some of y'all, you know, above, you know, the Georgia state line, probably gonna feel the cold just a little bit longer. You feel like the iguanas, T? You be falling out, passing out. They gotta revive you with a blow dryer or heating blanket. That's sad. I can't imagine. I mean, I realize I grew up in that, you know, lifestyle, but it's been a long time. And so that's, you know, a perfect sentiment to how we feel around here in Florida. We's be falling out in the streets over this 30-degree weather. What's up, Ja Tony? Good morning. Welcome to the chat. You know, we over here, y'all. Yesterday I had some technical difficulties. I'm so glad that y'all can hear me. And I appreciate y'all for keeping me, you know, I'm gonna have to like get my daughter to be my moderator or something because I need to know when these things are happening. I just be over here running my mouth with the mic on mute or, you know, just, you know, I'm just glad that you guys are here and that you can hear me. Happy Tuesday. How's everybody's Tuesday going? Sometimes Tuesday can be, you know, just as bad as Monday. You're not really on your square yet. Yesterday I was all the way off my square, but I'm feeling a little like I'm centered today. So let's get into the things. You know, I like to start with some Black excellence. So let's, you know, talk about the things that are excellent over here in the Black community. We got Dr. Gladys West, a mathematician who helped develop the GPS technology. So yeah, let's get into you know, what people were saying about Miss Gladys over here, because, you know, like most of the time, and being that she's a Black woman, you know, we're gonna talk about her accomplishments. I'm feeling like somebody somewhere is taking credit that's not melanated. But anyway, Dr. Gladys West was a Black woman mathematician whose work helped develop the GPS technology used worldwide today. From navigation apps to emergency systems, yet her contributions were largely overlooked for decades. Her research in satellite geodesy, I don't know how you say that, geodesy, and complex mathematical modeling helped make precise global navigation possible at a time when Black women were rarely recognized, credited, or centered in STEM spaces. This is why Black history matters, not just for remembrance, but for recognition. As we honor Black History Month, we highlighting the Black women whose work shaped the modern world, even when history failed to give them their flowers. Um, yeah, shout out to Gladys. If you want to know more about Gladys, got a book. It's called What About It's no, it's called It Began with a Dream. Just like Martin Luther King, child, it began with a dream. I don't want our youth to stop dreaming. Um, yeah, I want them to keep dreaming. I feel like they have access to so many things. I did a story the other day where Travis Scott said he wasn't going to let his kids, even be introduced to AI and things at such a young age. And I think that does absolutely interfere. Like, for T can relate. We over here, like, we forgot how to make dinner. We over here on TikTok and all these places looking for recipes and things to, keep the ball rolling, keep the family, changed up a little bit. So, get creative and don't allow the youth to start dreaming. It Began with a Dream is a heartwarming memoir of Dr. Gladys B. West, a trailblazing mathematician who overcame poverty, segregation, to contribute to the development of GPS, inspiring future generations with her legacy. I feel like this is one of these, like, we have to stop depending on ebooks and things. Unfortunately, we can do that, but I think it's important to have some of these books in our own home library. So, 2026. We talked about resolutions and things we want to do, goals we want to achieve. And, we'd like to get out there in January, say what we're going to do. This is something we can do. Like, all of us can start filling our library. So when I'm going to get mine, and when I get mine, I'm going to show you, and hopefully you will get yours. It seems these mathematicians out here doing things, child. Remember, did y'all watch what was it? Hidden Figures? Did y'all watch that? Where the math ladies was over there mathing and getting us all the way to the moon and such up here in space rockets and things. Yeah. So shout out to the excellence that is Gladys. We love to hear it. I feel like you don't do ebooks. I don't either. I don't have any, but I mean, we have time to do a whole lot of stuff. If you look and see how much time, because everything we're doing is tracked. When I go to my meetings at work, and I learned this years ago and was reluctant because at the time it felt like them like making more work for me to do. But then you realize, hey, if these people are tracking my progress, I need to be tracking it too. So when I go to my meetings, I'm not lost. I know what my averages are. I know what I'm bringing to the table. You know what I'm saying? So when there's a time to have a conversation about money, I'm already informed. So keep track of your own stuff and fill your kids. Like I said, I have children. My youngest is, she about to be 20, child. My youngest is about to be 20. My middle child is 27. And they're all very smart. They're all very informed, and I'm happy about that because I feel like they're all smarter than I am. But there's certain things and conversations that you don't have necessarily. So when you're talking about spending time with your family, the grandkids, this is great information for them to have, and seeing these books on the shelves and knowing that there's Black people out here that have highly contributed, to the progress of this country. We rely on GPS, child. Remember back in the day when I used to have to write down where you do. Turn right at the 7-Eleven, go down 3 streets. When you get to the 3rd street, you're going to make a right, and then it's 4 houses down. That's how we used to have to do. And then if you get lost, you got to go back to the 7-Eleven, get to the payphone and call somebody, be like, hey, I'm at this 7-Eleven. Now, I didn't see what street you told me to turn down. Is it the one with the red house? You know what I'm saying? So now we have GPS. We get in there, put the address in, and we can travel from state to state without any kind of, getting lost or, unless, you can come up with a little, detours from time to time, but still that's a big thing that we use, and across the world, not just in this country, across the world that, Gladys has contributed. So yeah, it began with a dream. we got to get into, I hate politics. It's so stressful. We live in a place of anxiety all the time, but, I'm here to share, so we'll get it out the way. This one, not so stressful as they sometimes can be. The Clintons is out here, y'all. Why are they here? Former President Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton agreed Monday to testify before the House Oversight Committee as part of the panel's investigation into Jeffrey Epstein. The former first couple had initially refused. Well, I mean, I guess the cat's out of the bag now, so whatever they was refusing about before don't really matter that much because I keep seeing little bits and pieces of things that are in. None of it surprises me. These men and the people said Jeffrey did not want any melanated people over there. Jeffrey said he didn't want no niggas down to his island. So for once, the black girls were spared. Not over here. I guess, wherever he left off, Puffy picked up. And a lot of folks was over here named. They're dropping all these names. Jay-Z, we'll get into that tomorrow. We got a whole nother day to discuss those folks. But former President Bill Clinton and former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton have agreed to testify before the House Oversight Committee as part of its ongoing investigation into Jeffrey Epstein, marking a reversal from their earlier refusal to participate. Ciao. This might be interesting. According to committee officials, the testimony is expected to address any past interactions or knowledge related to Epstein, whose ties to powerful politicians and business figures have remained under scrutiny following its 2019 death. The committee has said the investigation aims to examine institutional failures and the extent of Epstein's influence across elite circles. Ooh, people with money are disgusting. We over here just trying to pay our bills, and they over here trying to steal our children. Ugh. Poor kids out here. Protect the children. The Clintons' decision to cooperate comes amid renewed pressure from lawmakers seeking their greater transparency and accountability. While details about the timing and format of their testimony have not yet been finalized, the move signals a significant development in the high-profile investigation. I don't know if I feel like it's a development or not. I feel like, at this point, they both got one foot in the grave, child. What else can we say about Bill Clinton? We know he was a nasty nigga. I watched. If you haven't watched it yet, you need to, child. The Epstein Files. That movie, that documentary, when I seen that documentary, I was like, oh yeah, he had to go. They had to get rid of this dude because he was about to, F up the church's money. And now the files is out. So we about to see, what was said in the first daggone place. Anyway, I guess, we'll see what's going on with this. I think Bill Clinton is a liar. And, so just like the rest of them. So we'll see, what the outcome is. Hopefully he gets, farther than Epstein did, in terms of staying out of the trouble, child, because the people be coming up missing when they get involved with your boy, Donald. Somebody else was found on these Epstein files, but he said, hell to the no. The good guy. Who knew the good guy? Russell Wilson's name was going to be over here somewhere in the Epstein files. I feel like they tried it with this one. I feel like, all of a sudden there's a lot of people of color coming up, on the Epstein files. He said he didn't want no niggas over there, and I'm assuming that doesn't just mean women. Unless they were world leaders, because this man was not just dealing with people in the United States, all over the world. And we know in other countries, where women stand in terms of rights and things. So none of this surprises me. But according to Football Forever, Giants veteran QB Russell Wilson was in the Epstein files and allegedly attempted to buy Jeffrey Epstein's private jet in January of 2019. Wilson, who was negotiating a 4-year, $140 million extension. Geez, oh Pete, with the Seahawks, they was gonna pay him 140 million. I think they did probably. Like, what is they working with, child? Seahawks and the rest of them, the NFL in general. Anyway, he was negotiating a 4-year, 140 million extension with the Seahawks at the time. Wanted his Jets deal kept under wraps so it wouldn't affect his negotiations. Here's an excerpt of a letter that was sent to Epstein on behalf of Wilson. Jeffrey, Russell Wilson, see, and they said it was sent on behalf of him. So, somebody was over there trying to negotiate. It said Russell Wilson, Seahawks quarterback, is calling Gary nonstop since his viewing yesterday. He wants your GIV. What do that stand for? I don't know. Here's a dilemma. According to Russell, Russell wants to sign his new contract with Seattle Seahawks before letting the media and his team know that he's purchasing a plane. He's concerned it will affect his contract negotiation for some reason. Russell is asking for a way to lock up the plane until his deal is signed. Could be 2 weeks or 2 months or more. He took many photos and videos during the flight with his wife and or girlfriend. She's fairly popular singer. I'm guessing they meant Sierra. So this sounds like Russell was over here trying to buy a private jet. Russell said you had him effed up. He did. Let's see. You said, I believe Russell wasn't involved anything, but the damn Saquon is a different story. Yeah, he's all up in there. This is flimflammery as far as I'm concerned. What'd you say, T? You said, was these kids kidnapped or was some of these parents allowing their kids to go? I think a lot of them, are homeless or come from dysfunctional families where, the mamas and daddies are, have been known to sell a child or two for a good, crack supply. So it's probably a little bit of both. But I feel like most of the kids that were going over there were kids who were kind of lost in the system. Tim Tebow has a foundation that's geared towards trafficking. And there's a commercial. If you ever run across Tim Tebow talking about Room 21 and he runs an ad on YouTube, if you ever run across that, watch the whole thing. I watched the whole thing the other day. And Tim Tebow, it was like not trafficking like, the white van coming to snatch your kid. It was like a young girl who was probably in the foster system, who was dating this boy who's working for the traffickers, and she's doing it in her mindset that this young man is like, he loves her and we're only going to do this a few times. And so trafficking comes in so many different ways. But I feel like most of these kids are kids who are lost in the system, not somebody who's mama and daddy. And then, some of those wealthy people. Who was that boy that Kevin Stacey was over there putting his hands on? Wasn't his parents, allowing him to be at parties he didn't have no business being at? So, Russell said y'all had him effed up like T said. So that's funny that they said his wife is a popular singer or whatever. Russell said, that's not true. He said, nope, absolutely not. Not today, Satan. Some random plane broker tried to sell me a plane. I had no idea whose plane and never bought the plane. Never talked nor met the man. Thank God. And so he was over here having some used car salesman type over here trying to, get him caught up, it seems like. And it didn't work. But I feel like, they putting these names in here, obviously as a distraction to keep us from seeing what's really going on. And what's really going on, like, I don't need to see anymore. Like if what they've seen so far hasn't changed their mind, it's not, because white supremacy goes far deeper than, giving a shit about freedom and people of color or any of those things, or even poor people. Like, it's like a bunch of billionaires playing, tic-tac-toe with our lives, and, throw the piece over there, clear the board, we'll just do it again. It's sad. It's, ducking and dodging and ducking, boots on the ground and hunker down. What we know how to do down here in Florida is hunker down, hunker damn down. I feel like y'all know how to hunker down too. Like, in times like these, when the winter cold is coming, when times like for us, when the hurricane season hit, we got to hunker down, and we got to hunker down in our communities, and, look out for one another, child, because these folks are not playing. You're that bitch when you cause all this conversation. That's all I could say about my man, Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny. I'm looking forward to his performance. Not everybody feels the same way, though, unfortunately. So the NFL players are split on Bad Bunny's performance, which I find hilarious. Why? I'm so confused. Some of them are cool, some of them are not. I guess that means, like, if I find out who you are, how you thinking over here, you better hope I don't step out the way and let that lineman rock your ass over. At the end of the day, the president is a pedo. Yeah. And all the people that are surrounding him. Like, if you have a cousin that you find out, is doing inappropriate things, you don't even mess with him no more. You're not allowed to go over his house. You be looking at the mama and daddy funny, like, your kid is, out here doing too much. You know what I'm saying? They be, what they call it, the black sheep, exiled out the family. If you got that kind of family, then you got those people that try to cover it up, and tell the little girls to keep their mouth shut, because what goes on in the house stays in the house till they go down to the school and, tell the teacher, and, then you got other issues. But yeah, they supporting each other. So, and the Fall Guys, and I'm not calling them Fall Guys because they're innocent, because they was guilty as hell, but the ones that, they put in locking up, even Puff didn't get locked up necessarily for the horrible things he was doing. He got locked up for, prostitution, basically. So, he out here selling his jet, I heard. I don't know who bought it, but, let's spend Puff's money while he locked up. We know them kids is out here trying to live a lifestyle that they have become accustomed to. But anyway, according to the Jasmine brand, a new player poll is fueling debate ahead of Super Bowl halftime show, with mixed feelings inside the locker room about Bad Bunny headlining. According to the survey from Athletic, 41.4% of NFL players said they did not like the rapper being chosen. He's a rapper? I mean, I guess he's both. He's a rapper singer, because he be singing too. Yeah. Mucha novia. Yeah. Mucha novia. VIP. Yeah, that's my song. A taste selfie. Say cheese. Hey, y'all better get into Bad Bunny. Y'all got a little bit of time. Go on and get into Bad Bunny. I promise you'll be entertained. Somebody said, I don't even know who Bad Bunny is. Okay. Lie. If you didn't know yesterday, you know today, my nigga. Please stop. An anonymous offensive NFC player said, I always think it should be an American. Can somebody tell him that Puerto Rico is part of America? Stupid. I think they're trying too hard with this international stuff. Is that what you think? Just get your ass on the line. What they tell Colin Kaepernick to just go play ball? Just go play ball and shut up. Sounds stupid. One player called it smart business decision. Nothing Bad Bunny's global streaming dominance and adding good for ratings. Another kept it simple. Heck yeah, it's going to be a good time. It is going to be a good time. Better than that game, probably. The poll also revealed Michael Jackson as a dream performer. What? How are we going to do that? I mean, did he perform at the Super Bowl? I don't know. I think he did. DT, didn't you send me something about Michael Jackson like changing the game as far as because we had Pepsi catch his hair on fire and all that. Um, I don't listen to his music, but I don't listen to a lot of this music. I listen to his music because when I was teaching, my classroom was 90% Hispanic, Latina. So, they wanted to turn on music, and I was like, we could turn on Bad Bunny. One thing about Bad Bunny, if you listen to it, it's the same hip hop that you listen to all the time, except it's the mixed with a little mature. Like my listen, I live in Little Puerto Rico, so I'm exposed to it all the time. I live you can kind of tell the vibe. I could tell when he rapping about some ninja shit, and I could tell when he trying to woo the ladies in. Bad Bunny is very androgynous in terms of he might show up with some pigtails and a skirt, and he's like Prince. You know how Prince can get the girls' attention regardless to what he's doing. That's what I mean. I equate Bad Bunny to that. Only artist I believe that sold more than Bad Bunny is Taylor Swift. So that's what tells you what level he's on. And the last couple of years, the NFL has been playing in overseas in all these different places because they're trying to get recognized in other places beside this little ass racist little country that we live in. So yeah, the exposure is just going to bring more money, more attention, more eyes on the NFL. And like I said, good music is good music. My neighbors are Latino, but they're older. So I hear when they start the partying, child, the whole neighborhood has to be on. You can't be a Karen because we all like have to listen to to the music. But you could tell that Bad Bunny mixes coming up some of the old school music with the new school. That's why I was like, I guess he's a rapper, but more or less an all around entertainer. So yeah, I'm looking forward to Bad Bunny. Did y'all know that there's an alternative that if you do not want to watch Bad Bunny, that there's another halftime show that's going to be going on? Ooh, this is funny to me. So, Turning Point USA is having an alternative halftime show. And they got Kid Rock headlining as, the alternative to Bad Bunny. Y'all still listening to Kid Rock? I mean, I guess some of them are. Ain't he the same age as the president? What the hell is Kid Rock gonna come over here and do? Kid Rock wants you to watch him and not Bad Bunny this Super Bowl Sunday. So we supposed to turn off the Super Bowl and go where to watch this? Turning Point USA has unveiled the lineup for its alternative to the NFL's official Super Bowl halftime show. The right-wing organization announced plans to host a separate music event after Puerto Rican superstar Bad Bunny was chosen to headline Super Bowl LX. What number is that? Set for February 8th. Is it 65? What is LX? I meant to look that up, but I forgot. Anyway, TPUSA's All-American Headline Halftime Show will air during the game, featuring performances by Kid Rock, headliner, Brantley Gilbert. Do you know who that is? I don't know who is Brantley Gilbert. Lee Bryce, don't know him. Gabby Barrett. This is gonna be child. Anyway, I don't know these people. I'm familiar with Kid Rock, but I'm pretty sure he's like 70. The group says the event will celebrate faith, family, and freedom and offer another option of viewing for fans seeking a different experience. Child, we don't care. Go over there if that's what you need to do. I won't be turning off my TV. I'm going to be over there with Bad Bunny. Acknowledging the challenge of competing with the NFL and a global pop icon, Kid Rock said, "We're approaching this show like David versus Goliath." Okay. Competing with professional football's machine and global pop superstar is almost impossible. Or is it? Speaking about Bad Bunny, Kid Rock continued, He said he's having a dance party. We're having a dress and sing and wait, he's said he's having a dance party wearing a dress and singing in Spanish. Cool. We plan to play great songs for folks who love America. He didn't say he was doing any of that. He said he'll be that's what I said. I think it's 60. Um we plan to play great songs for folks who love America. So, which halftime show are you tuning in for? Are y'all turning the channel to go see Kid Rock do whatever it is Kid Rock does over there at Turning Point? I don't know what that is. Why are y'all so bothered? Like, it's really easy to not watch the Super Bowl, or maybe while Bad Bunny is performing and we're all in our living rooms, BIP, BIP, hey, because that's what I'll be doing. Hey, selfie, say cheese, hey, that's what I'll be doing. You know what I'm saying? And I'll spend the next 2 weeks or so, brushing up on my Spanish, listening to Bad Bunny, because the songs be good. Matter of fact, I'm going to bring a little bit to y'all every day. I'm going to bring y'all a little bit of Bad Bunny. So when it's Super Bowl time, we can all party together and the Turning Point people can go over there with Kid Rock, I guess, child. Don't miss the game. The best part is going to be the daggone halftime show anyway. But, that's it. That's it on the MAGA people. Enough of that. I didn't cover the Grammys yesterday, and thank God, because, technical difficulties and all. But, we're going to get into it today. I had it on. Did I watch it? I did not sit down and watch the Grammys, but I had it on for y'all so we could come talk about, what had happened over there at the Grammys. Best New Artist, Olivia Dean. I'm not familiar with Olivia Dean. The back of her dress looks very pretty. However, the front is like a mullet. It's up in the front. I didn't, get another photo because this is the best part of the dress. She's a young girl. I'm not familiar with her music. She has an accent, so sounds like, British, like she came from over the pond or whatever, but she's the best new artist. And do I care? Not really. But, the people know who, I'm sure the kids know who she is. The best pop vocal goes to Lady Gaga. How y'all feel about Lady Gaga's dress? It's giving very much Haunted. It's giving very much Queen of the Crows. It does. It looks like she, got a bunch of crow's feathers stuck on her dress. But, for Lady Gaga, I guess it's, sometimes she'd be Lady Gaga, sometimes she'd be Stephanie. She looks a little bit of in between. So I suppose if I'm judging it as far as fashion, I'm not mad at the silhouette, but the feathers are creeping me out. So yeah, it's not so much. Song of the Year, Billie Eilish. I think it was Wildflower or Wildfire or something like that. I like Billie Eilish, and her look goes along with her quirkiness. I showed Billie yesterday. She was over on the podium when she received her award, and she said F ICE, and you can't be claiming land that's stolen over here. So she's getting her political thoughts. She usually does. If you've not ever listened to Billie Eilish, I like her music. She's definitely thoughtful and young mind, So shout out to Billie. You never like Lady Gaga? It depends on the song. You did watch the Grammys. I feel like the Grammy stage is usually politically controversial, but this year especially, Trevor over here telling jokes, and Donald doesn't like that, so he wants to sue everybody. So be careful what you say about this man, because you might get a subpoena. It don't matter who you are. If he run across you saying, I heard he shit his pants the other day at a press conference, it might get you in trouble. They was trying to get me to listen to him shit. I wasn't trying to hear that, but he definitely, I heard some gurgling, and then the people jumped up and rushed him out of there. So yeah, I like Lady Gaga sometimes. Her music be hitting sometimes, and I'm neither here nor there. I think her song was Abracadabra or something like that. I'm, yeah. Anyway, record of the year went to Kendrick Lamar. So Cher is the one that gave this award out. It was so funny because Cher forgot what she came over there to do. She came over there and she was popping her shit. And she was, I did not put a picture of Cher's outfit. If you want to see it, Google it. She was giving very much Cher, very much revealing. It was something like a lace jumpsuit, all black. And it was very much Cher. Cher looks good. I know she in her 70s, so if she could come out and still be doing nude illusions, get it, girl. But she got up here and talked about, this administration, and then she walked off and forgot she was supposed to be giving out the Record of the Year award. And so Trevor was like, hey, Cher, can you come back for a second? I mean, I could do it, but you got the envelope. So can you come over here and say who won the Record of the Year? So she came back. It was very cute. She came back and she announced the Record of the Year goes to Luther Vandross, which, is the name of the song, but not the name of the artist. So Kendrick Lamar went home, I think, like with 20 something awards, or maybe, as a collective, now he has more than 20 Grammys. And, we talked about how, he surpassed Jay-Z or tied Jay-Z or something. So, it was the album was fire. As a matter of fact, I might go back in and re-listen to it because it was a good album. And yeah, Kendrick Lamar, Record of the Year, and Album of the Year went to Bad Bunny, Bad. So yeah, they gonna be mad. The people said that Bad Bunny is walking around here with a what do you call it? Jacket, bulletproof, bulletproof vest. They said that underneath his clothes, and he better. We go, yeah, he better be. Let's be sure that we protected Bad Bunny. Because these people out here being mad on another level of stupidity. Fun is, inappropriate. So we gonna go over here and sing some songs from America. Ciao, boo. Yeah, I think Bad Bunny looks nice. Very conservative for him, to be honest, because he shows up and shows out on the red carpet. But he came over here, tucked up in a very traditional way. He looks very nice. I think Bad Bunny is aging into, I don't know how old he is. He might just be 30. I know he's pretty young, but he's maturing into a very good looking man. And then Kendrick has on a traditional tux, but it could have been tailored a little bit better. Kendrick is a little guy, and so you got to tighten your suit up a little bit, Kendrick. Otherwise, you look like you got on your uncle's, tux. What else was happening over here? There was a tribute to D'Angelo, led by your girl, Lauryn Hill. I enjoyed this tribute. Lauryn B. Iffy. I like the dress she had on. I like the what she reminds me of? I'll be referencing the Wiz a lot, but don't she look like that Wicked Witch? Don't nobody bring me no bad news. That's what she looked like. No bad news. But in a good way. The tribute was good. It was a tribute to D'Angelo and Roberta Flack. We had Lauryn Hill, Lucky Day, Raphael Sadiq, Leon Thomas. I said, take your time. Don't rush. I like him. Bilal killed it. I feel like I don't listen to enough Bilal music. I need to go listen to, because I feel like Bilal is that, you didn't like the tribute at all? I did. I feel like Bilal is the go-to for tributes. I feel like they always use Bilal for the tributes. And yeah, I enjoyed it. I watched it. Actually, I watched the tribute before I watched the Grammys, and I was like, I don't really need to see nothing else. Jon Batiste, he's the piano player. I feel like there was a special on Netflix about him. He's a different kind of kid. For Roberta Flack, there was October London. I like October London too. Layla Hathaway, John Legend, Chaka Khan. Chaka Khan, is she on that Ozempic? Bilal was the only one that sounded good. Layla Hathaway sounded good. October London sounded good. Chaka Khan sounded, like herself. I'm not a big John Legend fan, so And Wyclef came up there just to play the guitar. So I feel like there was another tribute to some other folks by Reba McEntire. And my only thing, about that was how the hell this is the first time Reba McEntire is performing at the Grammys. I could not believe that. I'm like, okay. And the first time y'all ask her over here is to make tributes to other dead folks. I mean, she's not dead, but in the memory of the people that passed away. Anyway, it was like a little mini concert, I guess. Not everybody enjoyed it. T said no, it was a no for her. She did not like it. I do want to go listen to Bilal. You like John Batiste? They should have gave him more time. Did you see that documentary on him, John Batiste? He's like one of these behind the scenes artists that you really have to be into music. He's not mainstream. You didn't like Layla? I like Layla. Me and T often disagree, y'all. So it's still, but she's the best gift my sister ever gave me. So it's never ever gonna be any deeper than that. I enjoyed Justin Bieber. I like Biebs. So Biebs came out, and we haven't seen him perform in a while. Him and his wife, they look good. He's got on this oversized suit, but for some reason it works for me. It's not the same thing that Kendrick Lamar was giving, because Kendrick Lamar was supposed to be in a regular tux. This is supposed to be oversized. I don't hate it. Justin been going through a lot, in these last few years. He had some kind of something palsy. I don't know the proper term for it, but it had his face like paralyzed on one side, and we don't know what kind of narcotics these people be over here doing allegedly. And then all of the Epstein Island stuff that has come out. Bieber looked good and sounded good. Bieber came out in his underwear, and I don't know, I guess they would call it stripped down. It was fine, but he sounded so good. Bieber for me is like Chris Brown. They can be in a lot of bullshit, and when you hear their music, you be like, yeah, the music is still good. So shout out to Biebs. Like, he's looking better, I feel like, than we have seen him in a while. And hopefully he's in better health than he was. I'm always glad to hear his music. And I forget his wife's name, but her dress is beautiful. I like that. That is like one very simplistic, beautiful is cut, the illusion, like the little sheerness of it all. What's her name? Haley. Haley. I know she's one of them Baldwins. I think her name is Haley. She looks very pretty. I like her better with the dark hair, and yeah, her dress has to be one of my favorites. Hey, some girly. It wasn't cerebral palsy. Cerebral palsy is, my niece has cerebral palsy. I know that. I think it was called Bell's palsy or something like that. I think that's what it is, because it was temporary. It wasn't something like, a lifelong illness. But the whole side of his face was, paralyzed. Yeah, she looked beautiful, and I haven't seen her look that good. She almost reminds you of Bella Hadid a little bit, which, I mean, I think she was out there with those girls. I feel like she was on the cover of Vogue or something recently, and I want to see Haley do her thing. Like, hopefully this moment was a moment where she could, get out there and do some things. That is, all the time these women you get with a famous man and they don't talk about them, but she's a freaking Baldwin, so there's that. Let's get into some of these other looks, child. I'm going to start at the bottom, and then I'm going to give you a little what the helly. So at the bottom for me, this is both at the bottom and what the helly. Ari Lennox. Ari, your shoulders you look like, you and Clarissa Shields be hanging out in the ring. She's very strong. That keyhole is entirely too big because, it's not flattering on her bust at all. I'm not sure what the bottom of that dress is doing. It's all bad. I think, Ari, the wig, everything, it's all bad. It's giving very, masculine, and stupid. Because, I don't know what the idea of that dress was and what had happened, and, why she stood in front of a mirror and thought that was the route to go. Ari, do better. I like her music though. Jamie Foxx, what is that? What is happening? How tall is Jamie? Because this suit got him looking like he's 5'7". Did he borrow that from T.I.? Because that looked like some silly stuff T.I. would be wearing. And he's not I mean, I guess comedians get Grammys too, depending on their albums. They do albums or whatever. That Jamie is a hot mess. We're gonna blame it on Jamie wasn't feeling well for about 2 years. So maybe, his taste in fashion got scrambled while he was over there trying to recover from whatever. He said he had a stroke. Now, we know that if he had a stroke, they could have just told us that he had a stroke, but they didn't want to do that. They wanted to tell us that it was a mystery disease, only for him to come out and say he had a stroke. Heidi, this is not Halloween. What is happening? I was thinking Heidi couldn't even walk in this dress. I don't know what it's made out of, but child, I saw somewhere that they said Kanye's wife came naked, so she was doing the illusion of naked. She's doing the illusion of stupid. That's a stupid dress. The shoes, her hair is bad. Heidi is still a very good-looking woman. None of this is. Her hair look like it need done. This look like how you get up and you put your bathrobe on and you go have your cup of coffee or something. But Heidi, I'm very disappointed in whatever is going on here. So yeah, those were the looks. I wasn't about to go through that whole red carpet. These were just the ones that stood out to me for the most part. This stood out to me. What the hell? Do we even know who these people are? I'll tell you who it is. Sharon Osbourne and her daughter Kelly. What the Ozempic? Kelly got up here talking about how Ozempic is, we just jealous because people are skinny. Are y'all jealous of this? This lady looked Kelly. I don't even know if she's 40 yet, but she looked like y'all might want to have her plans. I don't even want to say nothing nasty like that. I want y'all to stop with this skinny looks better than healthy, because that looks like mental illness. Her and her mama both. This is an example of when you tell your kids do as I say and not as I do. And I mean, maybe her mother is encouraging her that. Kelly used to be, a little plump, and, society doesn't love that, but she was so cute with her purple hair. And now she looks like, I don't know, something from Coraline. The people that made the Skeleton movie cartoon. And, Sharon, after she went over there talking crazy to our little black Republican, what's her name? They used to be on the not The View, on the top. She more looks like Demi Moore on Landman. On Landman, Demi covers her face a lot, and I don't know. You think who's worse, Kelly or Demi? It's both bad, but I don't know. At least Demi is in her 60s. You know what I'm saying? So you could give her age. Why does Kelly look like she in her 60s? It's not good. It's not good. Does she wake up in the morning and look at that and I guess feel good? Is she single? Because they like to be like, I got a man. That's the title of completion as a woman. I don't know what she got, but clearly not food in the refrigerator, because child, that's a hot mess. Anyway, these were my top picks. The girlies came over here and they all looked good. I'm gonna start with Coco Jones. I love it. Very pretty, ethereal. I don't like her hair though. I wish she would have done something different with her hair. It seemed like all the girls came over here and decided they was gonna let their hair look like it didn't get done. How do y'all feel about Coco with the red hair, or what, light brown or whatever color that is? I'm okay with it, I guess. But my only issue with it is her hair. Not a fan of it. Kehlani looks good. I'm not a fan of the way Kehlani has her hair either. The dress is pretty, but between the hair and the tattoos, I don't love that keyhole. Y'all got to stop with the keyhole. But Kehlani is a young lady which is a member of the little bitty titty committee. So you can do that, when your boobs are small like that, because they don't be sagging down in the keyhole. But I just a personal thing, I don't particularly like a keyhole that's that big. If that keyhole was a little bit, it's just supposed to be a little slit. And then I could probably enjoy the dress better. But, aside from that, I thought she looked nice. And this girl here, Tiana, I can't tell if it's the dress or her body. I mean, the dress is okay. I feel like only Tiana could wear this, but the way her body is bodying is sickening. It's sickening. And nobody could have pulled this dress off. You know what I'm saying? Now, here's a woman who is very slim in stature, but very healthy looking at the same time. Looks like she doesn't eat Ozempic for breakfast. It looks like she maybe does smoothie shakes or something. But that girl's body is phenomenal. So this is Tiana's year. And like I said, she will, every time I do a red carpet, we're going to probably see her over here because, it's Tiana and we love her. This is that mysterious sister stuff. Do y'all think? What is? You talking about the keyhole? You can't have an opinion on Tiana and her fabulousness? Or, you can have an opinion, Jatoni. You have an opinion about everything else. Now, all of a sudden, y'all have it. Yeah, no, she looks amazing. You're allowed to say it. And if you don't like it, you can say that too. But for me, yeah, the young girls came out and did their thing. I love Coco's voice. I would love to hear more from Coco. Do y'all watch Fresh Prince? I did. I watched the season. I didn't review it. It's good. If y'all haven't got into the new Fresh Prince and y'all got teenage kids at home, that's another one where y'all be looking for stuff to watch with your kids. And it's one of those that's good to you can have conversations with your children, your young adults about, stuff that they deal with out here in life, trying to navigate with peer pressure and things. It's different than what we went through, but not that much different that you can't have a conversation. So if y'all haven't checked out Fresh Prince, it's a good watch. All this sister stuff. Okay. Jatoni. Do y'all watch Sherri Shepherd? Sherri is canceled. The people said, Sherri is no longer with us as far as daytime television is concerned. When Wendy left, I left. I don't be looking for, and I was here there with Wendy sometimes, depending on who she had on the show. And then, Sherri took her place when she was no longer able to do it. I think Sherri was the right choice because she definitely kept it entertaining. But I just I haven't been watching. So, and I think it's just because of the way we watch television now, where we can catch things when we want to. I think that type of daytime programming has changed. Anyway, daytime TV just caught another loss. Sherri, the syndicated talk show hosted by Sherri Shepherd, is officially ending after 4 seasons on the air. Producers confirmed the cancellation, pointing changes across daytime television rather than any issues with Shepherd's show itself. They said all the Black people shows is getting canceled. But Kelly Clarkson also got canceled, which I didn't watch her either. So, the series premiered in 2022 and stepped into a tough slot after the Wendy Williams show ended. After the jump, Sherri carved out its own lane with celebrity interviews, pop culture talk, comedy, and Shepherd's signature warmth. It wasn't trying to be messy. It was trying to be real. And for many viewers, it worked. The show earned multiple Daytime Emmy nominations and NAACP Image Awards during its run. That recognition helped quiet early doubts and showed the show had real traction beyond curiosity viewership. According to the producers, they still believed in the brand and in Sherri Shepherd as a host. While the syndicated run is ending, They've made it clear that they're open to exploring future opportunities on other platforms. Season 4 will continue airing through fall 2026, so the show is not disappearing overnight. Still, the announcement lands during a rough period of daytime TV as several long-running shows struggle to hold an audience attention in a streaming-first world. That's what I feel like. I feel like, things are just changing in the way people watch television. So, I mean, Sherry also came over here with the following. She was on The View for years, so I don't think it was a hard transition. Yeah, I just think I see her clips on YouTube and social media and such. So yeah, we're gonna have to do something else because people stream and times are a changing, child. So that's it. That's all I got for today. I feel like we can keep it light because we've been dealing with enough, y'all. And I'll be back later. I haven't talked about Married to Medicine. So for my Married to Medicine people, yeah, I'll be back at 7. It's been like 3 episodes, so it's gonna be a bunch of stuff like grouped in together. But for the most part, we're gonna talk about the things that everybody's talking about. We got some breakups and makeups and all types of stuff over here. So on that note, y'all, like the video, subscribe to my channel, and we're going to end it right here.
I'm back and proud.
Woo.
Chill out. I'm back and proud. Chill out. I'm back and proud.
Woo-hoo! Say it loud.